gotta go work out now, man. I gotta get some push-ups in, some sit-ups in. I can do cardio now. I can run. We'll test it. We'll test to see if I can sprint. Shit. Anyway, before I do that, I want to talk about women that wait till it's too late. You know, women sometimes, I just got done talking to a female just now about kids and stuff like that, and she's 21. She said she wants to start having kids like around 30. I said that's too late in the game to be trying to have kids. You should start having kids like around 25, 26. It'll be a lot harder when you get older. Start looking for a man to have kids with around 30. That's kind of you heading toward leftover women status when you try to have kids at that age. And she was like, "Oh, I don't know, don't want to have kids now." I said, "Well, you don't have to have them now. You just gotta have them, have them." What's up with it, Sean? You have them, when the boat come around. Find a man to take care of you now, so you won't end up to be a leftover woman. I didn't say that to her. I don't want to say shung you. I don't want to say that to her. She probably know what that means, but yeah, you gotta cash in your chips right now. A lot of you females, you be trying to put that schooling first. You know what I'm saying? When your biological clock is ticking, you gotta see the opportunities like right now. Like right now, she should be trying to find a man to take care of her and all the other stuff right now. Forget all that Mr. Independent bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? That these females be trying to do out here. I'm independent, I'm going to school, I take care of my own bills. Nah, find a man right now that's gonna take care of you and stuff like that. They don't want to do it that way. They want to go to school and be independent, get their own money. So okay, that's gonna hurt you in the long run. It's gonna be very hard to find a man when you're 30 year old, when you're 30 year old up, as I should say. When you all G'd up for 30, it's gonna be harder then. That's what I told her. And I just left. And I thought about it, I was like, that chick gonna have a hard time. She's 21 right now. I thought she was a little bit older because she's a foreign looks. But women don't think like that. They don't think that, hey, maybe a boat, somebody with potential might come along, you know what I'm saying, and hook me up. There's plenty of men out here, No, I don't want to do that. Then, see, they wait until they get to their 30s and then they want to calm down and settle down. That's what a man does. That's not what women do. This system has fucked up the way of nature, bro, the way of things. This system is not powerful enough to destroy nature, the way the creator, you know, tended to be. You know, the man's supposed to be the protector and the provider. You know, America, they want to go against that way of doing things. You know, they want to go against it, and they want to do their own rules. You can't play with nature, and no matter how hard you try, these women are gonna end up over 30 and unhappy because they went against the nature of things. Right now, I've been watching these leftover women videos, and these women are very unhappy. They're alone by themselves, you know, and all the other stuff, and they can't bounce back like us men can. We back to doing workouts now. Whew. Had to carry that fucking goddamn shit around, man. I hate that I gotta carry my sleeping bag around, but I can't. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta have something to cover up at night. It be cold. So us men, we can bounce back. We can get our bread together. Shit, we could be rich by the time we 45, 50. You feel what I'm saying? And we could bounce back and have families, and it's never too late for us. But for women gotta start early. They gotta, like, you know, start having babies around 25, 26. You see what I'm saying? That's the sweet spot, having babies for women. When she said to me she wanted to have babies, you know, she wanted to have babies in her 30s. I said, by the time that happened, man, that's way too goddamn, that's too late. That's too late. It'll be harder to even find a man at 30 years old to have kids with, or a guy who makes like a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? A guy who makes a lot of money, he's not gonna pull up on, you know, fucking, he's not gonna pull up on you, on a 30-year-old woman. Yeah, we gotta work out today, man. I haven't worked out in like, I don't know how long. Cause of that injury, man, it's better now. So what I'm saying? So these women, they think they got all the time in the world. You can't do it like us men. You can't do what we do. I don't know why do women try to like do what we do, bro? Settle down and have a family at 30. That's what a man does. For the most part, that's what a man does. Sometimes earlier than that. Feel what I'm saying? He said when Chad comes around, she'll be pregnant next year. Hey, for real, that's on the trail. That's on the trail, bro. That's on the trail. Shine, that's on the trail, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what these women do. They waiting for that right one. They waiting for the right guy. They waiting. They got all these high ass standards. You right? They got these high ass standards. All this high ass bullshit. It's like you're waiting for the right one, but it's never gonna come. You know. Sometimes women can sniff out potential, and they'll get on that boat as it's leaving. But some women, they don't smell no potential, and that boat could be leaving, and they be like, oh well. But then when the boat come back all tricked out, they'll be wishing they got on that boat. No, they'll wish they could get it back on that boat. And some women, they can smell potential and they'll get on the boat early, man. You know, they're cashing their chips early. Every single woman, you got to cash in your chips early so that way, you know, you won't have no problem finding a man. What did Cameron Samuel say, man? A lot of the females, they get to be you know, 27 in the danger zone, and their chances of finding a high value man is getting slimmer and slimmer. But some women are not gonna be able to snag a high value man, bro. They don't even know how to act around a high value man. How you think they're gonna snag these dudes? They don't know how to act around a man with a lot of money. They don't know what's going on. You know, what's up with it? You know. And then see, the thing is, they're not counting like the years you gotta get to know each other before you have a baby. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 2 or 3 years of dating, right? You need at least 2 or 3 years. 1 year, that's too goddamn soon. That's too much rushing going on right there. That's that Russian action. That Russian action, bro. Be rushing to get married after 1 year. Now you need like 2 or 3 years to get to know each other. So you'll be about 33. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? It's like nah. And then you know what I'm saying? You know, in the West we're a little bit more forgiving. But you go over to them other countries like China and Japan and Thailand, they don't forgive out there, man. Once a woman is single past 30, she's single for life. Unless she get a foreigner that don't mind her being after 30. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of women, they wait until it's too late, man, and they can't, some of them, they can smell potential and some of them cannot. But once that boat is gone, it ain't never coming back. That's what I told her. I was like, look, you got one shot out here. You know, while you young, you should be trying to find a man to take care of you. You know, forget all this Miss Independent bullshit. That's what get women in trouble, man. Trying to be independent. But look, get married while you're young. You know, seal the deal now. Cash in your chips right now. Right now you're 21. That is kind of young. But you need to be searching right now because it's gonna take a couple of years to get engaged. You know, you find a man right now, right? From 21 to age maybe 24, and then you can get married. You feel what I'm saying? So it takes time to get to know that person. You can't just pull a fucking a high value man out of the sky when it's time. You know what I'm saying? But she's like a 4 in looks, man. You know, maybe a 5 on a good day. If she put on makeup, she probably could doll herself up to a 5. But without, no, she's not very pretty. She's not gonna find a high value man. High value men, they sacrifice too much to be dating 4s out here, and dating 4s and 5s. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm talking about. Like a lot of women, they wait until it's too late to like cash in their chips. You know, it's kind of like being at a casino, man. Like they be sitting at their table thinking they could, you know, bring home a whole entire fucking bag instead of walking away with the chips that they got, that they won. You know, they start risking all the other chips. Why risk all the chips? You could take that $3,000 you got right now. Oh no, I can flip this into 6,000, and I can flip this into like 12,000. I could take this 12,000 and flip it into 20,000. Okay. And they'll be sitting there, you know, gambling, and then before you know it, they broke. No more chips. It's too late. No more money. You know what I'm saying? Because they got that, what they call it, they got the shiny object syndrome, where they see one shiny object, and then they see another one, and then they see another one, and then they see another shiny object. You know what I'm saying? and then they get to be 30 something, and then like, oh, I want to settle down now. It's already too late. Even for a guy who makes some money, a guy who makes a lot of money, he ain't checking for no woman under 30, man. You feel what I'm saying? You know, he not checking for no woman over 30. I know I wouldn't be. If I had a bag, bro, I would not be checking for a woman that's over 30, bro. It'd be all 20-something-year-old women, bro. Because I feel like I deserved it. Like, if a nigga went through homelessness, if he went through pain and suffering of being by himself every single night, you know what I'm saying, for many years, do you think I'm going to just want just a woman that's a 5 or a woman that's over 30? I'd be like, what? I suffered for a 35-year-old woman. Or even a 32, 33-year-old woman. You think I went through all of that just to get that? Nah, I want the 21-year-olds. I want the 22-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? I want the 23, 24, 25, all the way up to 27. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. Because then you think like you went through all that craziness, and and you feel like you deserve the best, right? You feel what I'm saying? You feel like you deserve the best. So nah, some women are delusional too. They thinking they deserve more than they deserve. I mean, look, you're not that pretty enough. Us men, we can get millions and make ourselves look pretty. The millions will make ourselves look pretty. You feel what I'm saying? But women, they can't do that. They got a certain amount of time in their prime to make things right, to cash in their chips. So, and the thing is, the older she gets, the lower value of a man that she'll be able to attract. Like, she gets to be 30-something years old, she's not going to be able to pull men who make a lot of money. They're going to get the bottom of the barrel men. They're going to get men that hasn't did anything with themselves. My ex-girlfriend, she was 35 when we met. And at the time, and I still ain't got no money. And at the time, I didn't have no money. I wasn't high value, man. But yet she was Miss Career Woman. She was Miss this and that and this. You feel what I'm saying? And she was all about her career, but yet she couldn't get a man that make just as much as her. You feel what I'm saying? And women don't like that. Women don't like having to get men that make less than them, but they have to if they achieve a certain amount of success, right? You get a young man that's 27 years old or 26 years old, ain't got no money, basically homeless or whatever. You're not gonna get a guy that's on your level. So they settle, man. That's that shit in that Hollywood too, man. You see all them women making that money out there. They getting these broke ass Chads and Tyrones. Look at Keke Palmer. She couldn't get a man that made just as much as her, man. So that's why she got with Chad Rome, the fitness instructor. Okay? So in this society, we kind of fucked it up, man. Where women are the strong and independent women in this nation. You know what I'm saying? And the men are just checking for like young, hot women. I mean, that's like beside the point, but it's like you can't reverse the roles, because there's gonna be a lot of unhappy women. I'm telling you. You feel what I'm saying? You can't reverse the roles. When you try to do that, you fuck up the nature of things. You fuck up the order of things, bro. The U.S., I mean, you can't play God, or you can't play the Creator. You feel what I'm saying? You know, you can't have the women leading the house. You know, you gotta have the man. The man supposed to be leading the house, not the women. You know what I'm saying? So this society is all fucked up, man. You know, the other countries, man. You know, women are still at the bottom. You know, you got Thailand, where they keep women at the bottom, and where they keep women dependent on your money, because it puts them in a position where they're not struggling for like women themselves. Okay, let's say Thailand. Okay, let's make an example. Thailand, they still keep women at the bottom, bro. First come the men, then come the lady boys, and then the women at the bottom, right? So they block off opportunities because they see what happens in the West, right? Where the woman is strong and independent. You feel what I'm saying? And it messes up it messes up things for men in society. The reason why we're struggling right now is because the way society has gave so many women opportunities that they feel like they don't need you no more. So that's why it fucks that shit up for the average man who's making, you know, maybe like $25, $30 an hour. You know, he gonna struggle getting women because we got a bunch of strong, independent women out here thinking that they could do better than you. Okay? So now the men and women are competing with each other. So it fucks up the roles in society. You feel what I'm saying? It fucks up the order of things. Everything is out of order in the West. That's why a lot of men struggle getting girlfriends. That's why a lot of men are scared to get married, because of the system, the way things are set up for women to win and for men to lose. You see what I'm saying? We live in a fucking pussy beggar, a simp mangina nation, bro. We do. The other countries don't do that. They don't put women first. They put women last. And the men over there, let me tell you something, in Thailand, they don't struggle getting women at all. You know what I'm saying? They want everything to be pushed into the men's favor so we can always have the upper hand. Now, the single man in Thailand have a hard time getting women. Even if he's poor. Even if he's poor, he still could get a woman, bro. You hear what I'm saying? Because the things are not switched out of order over there. Once you give women a bunch of opportunities, it's gonna fuck shit up. It's gonna be like a domino effect. You know what I'm saying? So now you see less people getting married and stuff, but because women got their own money now, and men don't want to do that. They don't. Nah, I'm not trying to get married to her. I'm strong and independent. I'm not trying to do that. She making just as much as me? No, that'll be a struggle for power in my own household. See what I'm saying? I don't want to come home to a woman that makes just as much as me, or even worse, coming home to a woman that makes more than me. I don't want to do that. I'll be struggling for power. I remember my ex-girlfriend. She made more than me, bro. I could not call no shots in the house whatsoever. All the decisions was through her, and she didn't really have to talk to me about nothing. She just did it. Like her daughter moving back into the house, I didn't like it, but I wasn't in the position to like call the shot and say no, she can't be moving in. Get her own life. She's a grown ass woman. That bitch is like 20 something years old. Why is she moving back in here? She quit the schooling that you tried to hook her up with. Her mama paid for her to go to school, and she fucked that up. Her daughter gave her the opportunity to go to school and do better, but instead she moved in with some knucklehead instead, and then she would have come back. Mama, it's just cold out here. I want to come back home. Boy, that's why I left that relationship. I got tired of being, looked down upon by her, my ex-girlfriend. because I didn't make as much as her. You see, that fucks up thing. When women start making more money than the men, it fucks up everything. Man. You feel what I'm saying? It fucks up everything. Oh, the little kid was like, "Hi, hi," at the way back. It fucks up everything, man. The man's supposed to be the leader in the household, man. Ain't no woman supposed to be lead nothing, man. I mean, you can call me a chauvinist pig, but I'm just saying, look what happens when women start making more money than the men. Then the women become unhappy with the man that they got, and most of the time, women want men to make more than them, be taller than them, be better looking than them. You see what I'm saying? They trying to marry up. But yet you got a society where you got a lot of independent women that are unhappy with their options. You women are not going to be able to get men that's making just as much money than you, okay? If you reach a certain height of success, no man is going to want that. Just look at Hollywood. All the trick mamas, the sugar mamas in Hollywood. Look who they getting. Chad Romes, Ty Romes, Chad. Look what happened to was it Britney Spears when she got with Chad, okay? What's his name? Kevin Federline. She was very unhappy in that relationship. You see how a fool she was acting, and how she went and hit that window with the umbrella, and she cut all her hair off and shit. You know, she was not happy in that relationship, man. You see what I'm saying? The man is making less, and then what happens is when you get into a fight at home, who they gonna talk about? They're gonna talk about your ass, your broken dusty ass. And they're gonna talk about how much they're making more than you. They'll shove that all up in your face. It happened to me before, man, with my ex-girlfriend. I told you. Remember, I was looking at that Range Rover over there across the street from the house where we lived. And I was looking at it, I was like, oh shit, that shit is clean. And she knew I was looking at it. Then later on down the stretch, when we got into an argument, she was like, you see that Range Rover you was looking at the other day? I can afford that, you cannot. And I was like, damn. So it's like that, huh? That's how they do it, bro. That's why we don't want to get into a relationship with a woman that makes just as much as us, bro. You know, all that strong and independent stuff for these females out here is just going to come back to haunt them. They're living very unhappy dating lives doing that. You see what I'm saying? And they got to settle because they can't get the guys who's making just as much as them. Keke Palmer can't get a man that make just as much as her, bro. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, we gotta work out because I'm gonna get all fat and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So what they do is, you know, in summary, what they do is, a lot of these women, they chase their career. You know, they chase their career throughout their 20s. And what they do is they try to settle down in their 30s after they get a career going. But then by that time, it's already too late. You know what I'm saying? They can't find the man or the ideal man that they want. You feel what I'm saying? They can't find it. You know, women are when they're in their prime, that's when they could do the best with dating. Because they got all these options. Women got a lot more options in their prime versus when they get to their 30s. And the thing is, they stuck with the man that's undesirable to them. Oh, this guy, he works as a construction guy. He's only pulling in, you know, maybe like $75,000 a year. You know, she's pulling in like 200 grand. She can't find nobody that's her equal. Remember when Jeannie Mai was talking about Young Jeezy and she was saying that finally somebody that's my equal, and she said Jeezy is my equal. That's what she said, and I was like, are you kidding me? He's worth more than you. How is he your equal? See, that's that equal bullshit. That's the reason why their relationship fell apart. Young Jeezy and Jenny Mai, because there was a struggle for power in the household. There was a struggle for power. Young Jeezy couldn't throw his weight around as he could do with a young, hot Tenderoni that's 22 years old that ain't got no money. So they was clashing, they was bumping heads all the time in the household. You don't want that. You want a woman in her prime, 22, 23 years old, where you can run and control everything. You know what I'm saying? I want to feel like I'm the king in the household, and I'm taking care of all the bills. I'm buying her shit. I'm spending money on her. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the provider and the protector. I don't want her to be Miss Independent woman and Miss Career Driven woman and all that other stuff. I don't want that. See, by the time they get their careers, it's already too late to find a man like that's gonna come up like me. A guy that's making plenty of bread, plenty of money, and the top 20% of men. It's already too late to find a motherfucker like me. I'm not checking for you, honey. At 30 years old, I'm not gonna check for you. It's too late for you. Now you're competing with the 22-year-olds. They get the kind of man that you want, and you end up unhappy, thinking you got all the time in the world. No, I'm gonna wait until I'm 30. What? No wonder you ain't got a boyfriend now. Shit. Anyway, I'm gonna end this live, man. I'm going off. I gotta work out. You guys have a good day, man. I'll be back on later. What? I don't know, man. Why did Jeezy go for a past prime ran through like Jeannie Mai? Dude got issues. Because what happens is young Jeezy still got that I think he didn't do the math. He's not really good with picking the right woman. He still think that it's okay to get a woman past her prime and shit like that. He hasn't woken up from that. You feel what I'm saying? That's a lot of black men's problem, is that the standards are too low. His standards were too low. He didn't say, oh no, I can't deal with you, baby. You already got a mind of your own. You already stuck in your ways. We'll be clashing heads in the household and all. Nah, he didn't figure that shit out. He thought that, because I'm young Jeezy and I can change her and all the other stuff. That's what was going through his head. He thought that he could change that female. But he got in there and he figured out that he couldn't. He 2 years later, I want a divorce. This woman is crazy. Yeah, she don't see you as the leader of the household, bro. She's too old. A woman, they get stuck in their ways, and they get used to. They're not flexible. They get used to doing certain things a certain way. Like as the years go by, a woman, as she get older, she gets stuck in her ways. She's not flexible. Let's say, for example, let's say this woman has been tying her shoes the wrong way for like 25, 30 years. She been tying her shoes the wrong way. She don't even do the bunny rabbit thing. She just, or the bunny ears. You know what I mean? She's been tying her shoes the wrong way. And then you come along and say, let's say she like 35 or something like that. And then you come along and you say, Hey, honey, I think you tying your shoes the wrong way there. You've been, oh no, I got. She'll be like, oh no, I got it. Oh no, I got it. I got it. I've been doing this for a long time. You can't tell me what the fuck to do. That's how women are. Like when you try to come along, you try to teach them something. But if she's like a 22-year-old, she fresh out the gate, and you come along and say, honey, I think you tying your shoes the wrong way. A 22-year-old be like, oh, okay, let me listen to him because he got more experience, so I'm gonna listen to him. He older, and plus she more likely to obey your command. She'll be like, okay, daddy. See, because she ain't been tying her shoes for that long. You see where I'm going? She only been tying her shoes for the last like what? So she could tie them since she was 5, and she like 22. She hasn't been tying her shoes for many years. But you get to a 35 or a 40-year-old woman who been tying her shoes for another like 12 or 13, 14 years, she gonna have a problem with you telling her what to do because she's been doing this shit for years. That's called being stuck in your ways of doing things. She's stuck in her ways of tying her shoe that way, or she's stuck in her ways of making her bed a certain way. You can't tell her anything. If she's 20, 21, she's more likely to obey your command. That's why we want them when they 21, 22. Because when they get past 30, they think they know everything. Well, I've been around long enough, I know what I'm doing. You can't tell me what to do. You feel what I'm saying? Like, when I was with that female, she was around my age. Matter of fact, she was a little bit older than me, the fat chick. And I'm sitting there, I'm drinking alcohol on the couch, and she comes out and says, why are you drinking alcohol? I said, this is what I fucking do, all right? You know what I'm saying? They're like, don't try to tell me what to do. You know, they try to be your mama and stuff, man, especially if they're older than you. They try to be your mama and stuff. Like, I don't want to be my mama. You know, the young Jeezy hasn't figured that part of the game yet, that you don't get women past a certain age, like 30. You don't go after them. You see what I'm saying? I bet he learned the hard way. He probably still haven't learned anything. You see what I'm saying? Nobody schooled them that younger women are better. Young women are more likely to obey your commands. Younger women are more likely to let you lead. If you're the breadwinner and stuff like that, they're more. They can, you know what I'm saying? Like older women are hard-headed. You can't tell them nothing. You see what I'm saying? That's my main point. Is older women, you can't tell them nothing, and they hard-headed and they stuck in their ways. They get used to doing a certain way. Like, let's say I know a better way to wash dishes or to load the dishwasher. She's been loading the dishwasher wrong for like the last like 20 or 30 years. I come along like, honey, I think you're loading that dishwasher, you know, wrong. You know, you got the pots leaning up against the thing, and you know what I'm saying, you're gonna fuck everything up. Oh, you can't tell me what to do. I know how to do it. That's how, and then an argument will start. You know what I'm saying? Over a dishwasher. Because she figured she's been doing that shit for a long time. She figured she's doing it wrong, but she don't want to like take your direction. That's what was happening with young Jeezy and Jeannie Mai. Is they were clashing heads. They both making money. Young Jeezy, Jeannie Mai is not making as much as young Jeezy, but she still got her own money. No, when I find you, I want you to be broke so I can run and control everything. And I feel better when I'm running and controlling the whole entire relationship. It's like my woman, she works at an ice cream shop. I'm a jackpot winner. I got millions in the bank. I got shit invested in. I started I invested my money into a startup company. I got money invested in the stock market. You know what I'm saying? So I'm running things. I'm the big honcho. I'm the shot caller. And who wouldn't want to be a fucking shot caller? Everybody wants to be a shot caller, where you control everything, control your own destiny and everything. So they're not gonna get along if they both are like if they're both alpha males. She's acting like an alpha male. He's acting like an alpha male. They're gonna bump heads, bro. They're gonna be boom, boom, bumping heads all the time. Now, that's what happened. That's why they got divorced so quick. But I saw it coming before. Remember I told you, before they got, man, what did I tell you, bro? I said this years ago, bro. Remember, I told you that this Jeannie Mai and this young Jeezy situation, it's gonna be like a car accident. This is a car accident waiting to happen. And then 2 years later, they got divorced. I was like, I told you. Because I know he was making a huge mistake by marrying a woman past, what, she was past 35? She was in her late 30s. I'm like, bruh, she been ran through. And then she gave you what was left of her, man. I'm like, Jeezy, you don't see this coming, bro? You don't think older women are like, I mean, yeah, she looked good for her age, but still, her mindset hasn't changed, though. Like, she's still stuck in her ways. No, you don't marry women like that, Jeannie Mai. You don't marry. How you gonna be, I mean, she's used to being the driver. She's used to being in the driver's seat. I mean, yeah. She's used to being in the driver's seat. And now, young Jeezy comes along, and now she got to get on the passenger side and let him drive. It's more fun driving than it is being on the passenger side. See what I'm saying? So you can't be used to driving in the driver's seat, and then now you gotta get on the side. You're gonna have a problem with that. You're gonna be like, nah, I want to drive. Give me that steering wheel. Jeezy like, well, what the hell what you talking about? Give me the steering wheel. I'm the man in this household. Talking about I'm gonna drive. And she gonna be like, give me the steering wheel. Let me drive. She gonna be like that because she's used to being in the what? She's used to being in the driver's seat. It's like me. I'm used to running my own business, and then somebody comes along, like my wife or something. If I marry a woman, and then she comes along, she starts running it, and she starts making decisions, without me and shit on my own business. I'm gonna get upset. I'm gonna be like, "What you doing? I've been running this business for the last 20 years. You can't come in here and change shit." That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why they didn't get along. If you would have married a woman that was like 21, she would have been more of a helper instead of a wannabe leader in the relationship. You got two people trying to lead a relationship. They're gonna clash heads, bro. I said this before. Remember, I told you. I knew that it was gonna come to an end. I was like, this is a car crash that's waiting to happen. I made videos talking against young Jeezy and Jeannie Mai before they even got divorced. When they was getting married, I was like, what the fuck is young Jeezy doing? She's like a leftover woman, bro. Remember how Kelk used to talk? I used to always talk about how older women are not to lick for marriage. I used to talk about that before that even happened. So when I saw it happen with young Jeezy and Jeannie Mai, I was like, oh shit, now this is not gonna turn out good. You know what I'm saying? And voila, it didn't. And she says she got a temper and shit like that. Yeah, women get tempers when they're older, man. When they're younger, yeah, they can have a little bit of a temper, but they don't really know much. So younger women kind of look to you for guidance. They thinking like, well, he's 45 and I'm 25, so he does have more life experience than I do. So I gotta listen to him. You know what I'm saying? Versus the woman that's 45 and you're 45, she gonna be like, I know just as much as you, so you don't have to tell me nothing. I'm your equal. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that in your household. Well, I gotta go. You guys have a good day. Peace out, take care, and bless. I'm out. I gotta go.